Welcome to Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. I'm your host, Sadia, and this is my mother, Ima. Hey, Ima.
Hello, my sweetness. I did something very unusual.
Oh, yeah? What was it?
I didn't have any white onions, so I had red onions. So I thought, should I use a red onion in chicken soup? And I thought, why not? Let's try something different.
Oh, you're so spontaneous. That's amazing.
A red onion in chicken soup. That's going to be interesting to see how this tastes. Well, anyway.
We'll find out next time.
Anyway, I was thinking about some funny stories that have happened to me over the years.
Yeah.
And I thought about, one of the stories I thought about was the glass of tea story.
Glass of tea.
The glass of tea story. And with my family, I never realized how ethnic a glass of tea was. Because in my family, we always drank our tea, no matter how hot it was, in a glass. And it never occurred to me that it was like a Polish, Ukrainian type thing until when I was in college. There was one of my, I guess you go colleagues, one of my fellow music students. He and I had to work on some sort of duet together, something with music together. And this guy was a white Anglo Protestant whose ancestry went back to Jonathan Edwards and the Mayflower and all that good stuff. So when he came over my house, I offered him, I said, would you like some tea? He said, yeah. So without thinking, I made him a glass of tea, put it in front of him, and he looks at it. I'm drinking, and he says to me, you gave me my tea in a glass. I said, yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like a glass, yeah. And then he repeated, you gave me my tea in a glass. And I said, yeah, it looks like, that's what it looks like. It looks like a glass. And then he said a third time, you gave me my tea in a glass. And I go, yeah, it's a glass, so drink it. What's your problem? He says, everyone knows you're supposed to serve tea in a cup with a handle. I went, oh. He says, yeah. I said, oh, I never knew that. So he says to me, how am I supposed to drink this?
Oh, God. Oh, what? I didn't realize what you meant by glass. I thought you meant like a glass cup. Like
no, glass, a regular glass.
Wow.
And he says, how am I supposed to drink this? And I go, I don't know. I always just pick it up from the top and drink it. So
pick it up from the top.
I said, maybe. I said, so, you know what? I said, I handed him a napkin. I said, wrap a napkin around it. He says, that was his complaint was, how am I supposed to drink it? Because it's hot. So I said, well, wrap a napkin around it maybe. So I handed him a napkin. He wrapped a napkin around it and drank it that way. But it never, I mean, he told me he had never had his tea in a glass before.
There's always a first.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. So I see you're eating something. Are you eating, drinking something? What are you doing?
I'm eating wings. It's just, it's.
Oh, yummy wings.
Yeah, I'm trying to put on mute so I don't hear people hear me munch.
What kind of wings? Did you make them from scratch or they were frozen?
Yeah, made them from scratch.
Oh, I love them from scratch.
Yeah.
You pay so much, you pay so much money to get like these frozen wings that are already pre-made. Such a waste of money. I mean, to take the wings and just, spice them up yourself and throw them in the broiler.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
I'm trying to experiment with them. Yeah. I'm trying to find the right formula. I got these like spices that I'm spicing it up with. And I have this sauce that I'm working with. I'm trying to like play around with it to feel like, which one will give me the best bang. I like it when it's spicy, but I feel like it needs more. I should have added salt and pepper.
Well, I came up with my own recipe after all for chicken wings, barbecue chicken wings. It was a combination. It was mustard, it was mayonnaise, it was ketchup, it was chili powder, and it was garlic powder and onion powder. And then I was looking at a bag of wings, like after I developed this recipe, and I'm reading the ingredients. I went, hey, they took my recipe. It was exactly what I was using. Mustard, garlic, mayonnaise, chili powder, garlic powder, parsley, onion powder, pepper. But I was thinking also about Mifsaim stories. Like
yeah.
Everyone has their stories about Mifsaim. So I was telling this co-worker of mine, her husband's a shliach. And, I don't know if you remember the story about your brother He
Which
had.
one?
I don't like to mention names.
Number one, number two, number three.
Like I said, I don't like to mention names, but he was on Mipsoyim, so you know which one it was.
Okay.
And what happened was he had come to Baltimore, and he had my grandson, his nephew, he took with him, and just to, I think he took him to the store or something, and he also decided at the same time he would bring his tefillin with him and try to Mipsoyim. So he went up to this Israeli gentleman and asked him about putting on tefillin. And the guy said to your brother, if it weren't for the fact that you had that little kid with you, I would sock you right in the mouth. So I told the story to my coworker, and she says, oh, yeah. She said her husband, one time in Messiah, got the same reaction where he asked somebody about putting on tefillin, and the guy said to him something, he says, you're lucky I don't thump you.
Thump you. You know, he was Thumper from Bambi.
But there was one Mepsoyim story where when I was at Mechon Chana, me and some of the girls would, like Thursday night, would go to some of the hospitals, and we would go to the waiting areas, to the lobbies, and offer Shabbos candles to any, Jewish women that were sitting there. So we offered a Shabbos candle to this woman who was sitting, and she says, honey, she says to me, honey, sit down. I want to tell you something. She says, my daughter has cerebral palsy, and she's married, and she, is in the hospital now giving birth to her baby. And she says, the doctors just came to us and told us that they will be lucky if they can save my daughter. Mm-hmm. And she says, I'm going to make a promise to God that if my daughter pulls through, I'm going to light Shabbos candles. So one of the girls said to me, well, give us, your daughter's Hebrew name and your Hebrew name, and we'll telephone it into the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So she gives me the name. And so I went over to in those days, no cell phones in those days. I went to the payphone that was nearby, and I called 770. And I told Rabbi Groner the situation, and gave him the woman's name and her daughter's name. And as soon as Rabbi Groner said, okay, I'll take it into the Rebbe, one of the girls wants over to me and says, guess what? She goes, the doctors just came down. The woman's daughter is fine, and the baby's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so the husband, when he came over to his wife, he saw she was holding the Shabbos candles, and he started to laugh, and he says, is this another kick you're on? And so she says, oh no. She says, I'm going to light these. She goes, in fact, I'm going to light Shabbos candles every Friday night now.
Awesome. That's really good. I like those stories. They're nice feel-good stories.
Yeah.
There's always a cynic in me that's saying, phooey, but I just ignore it.
And I know there are people listening to us going, yeah, right. But I'm telling you, I was there, and I'm telling you, this is what I saw. And this is what I experienced. And yeah.
You can't, whatever. It is what it is. But those were your stories that you had?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll probably think of others after we hang up. I always think of all these stories after I hang up.
You're like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. Oh, I should have said this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
So anyway. What happened? So what happened to you this week? Good stuff?
Just working. Just same things, different day. Just pulling through. I think it's funny, but like I look forward to every single day, just looking forward to just coming home and relaxing and going to sleep. Like after.
Welcome to middle age.
Yeah. What's something you look forward to every single day?
Making dinner for myself and sitting down and watching Law and Order SVU while eating dinner. And then after I finish eating dinner, then practicing piano. And then, like I said, then going to sleep. Well, I do some morning. I go on Chabad.org, and I usually listen to Rabbi Gordon's Chumash video, and his Tanya video, and then Moshe Steiner's Yom Yom.
Nice.
It's hard to believe that with the Yom Yom that the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe was writing these during World War II. I mean, when you think what was going on at the time, the chaos and the destruction, and how the Rebbe, the Frierdiker Rebbe wrote these, this wonderful Yom Yom, like these nice like thoughts for every single day.
Oh, wow.
During that time. And so anyway, so we had to come up with some good stuff anyway. So
well, I have a few questions I can ask you.
Okay, so go ahead and ask me.
What was your "it's not a phase, mom" moment from your childhood, teen years, which actually didn't turn out to be just a phase?
You mean that, like something that I took on the time I was a teenager that's carried
yes
throughout my life?
But it was like, but your parents thought it was just a phase.
I'm trying to think. The problem is I went through a lot of phases as a teenager.
Oh yeah, like what?
But did not carry over. Let me see. Some of the phases I went to. I went to my atheistic phase.
Oh yeah, you told me that one.
Yeah, I got out of that when I was 22. Other phases. And you're relying a lot on my memory. Oh yeah, I went through a phase where I tried to talk myself into liking baseball because everyone else did. I figured something was wrong with me. I don't like baseball. There must be something wrong with me.
That's
so
funny.
I tried to get myself interested in the game and watching it on television, whatever. And it didn't last. I have to be honest with myself.
You're like,
I don't like baseball. I
found watch it with your father.
Yeah, my father and by myself, and yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not for me.
Let me see. I used to like bike riding a lot when I was a teen. Oh, I still love bike riding.
Well, can you still like do it now? Get a bike and then like do a soft pedal kind of thing?
I thought of that from time to time, but I remember friends of mine and I, like teenage years and college years, taking really long bike rides. I mean, you're talking about miles and miles. And I don't know if I could do that now. I wish I could. I should really go back to that. But it's between, like you said, you're working full time, you work full time, you come back, you have just enough time to, eat dinner, watch a television show, practice piano, and just, go right to bed.
So you have no other phases?
Phases.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager and my early years in college, girls were becoming it was becoming stylish for girls to be mannish or boyish.
Oh, like today.
Yeah, but these were we're talking about like girls. Pants were the big things. Girls were starting to wear like men's suits. I used to get men's pants, and I used to, dress like with vests and ties and things like that. Girls were also like taking on boys' names as nicknames.
Oh, okay.
Since my name was Charlene, I started having people calling myself Charlie.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
There was this guy I was friends with in college. He was a police officer, and he was engaged to be married. And I thought I was walking with his fiance, and he comes and he sees me. He goes, "Hey," he says, "Charlie." We started talking, and he says to his fiance, he says, "This is Charlie. Remember I told you about her?" And she looks at me and she says, "If this is Charlie, I'd sure like to meet Bill and George."
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So wait, I guess what kind of trendy fads then did you kind of like chime in on, or like, I guess in a way it's just that wave of stuff that comes in every couple of years.
Yeah, there was also when I was a teenager, there was a fad, British, British, British sailor hats.
Yeah,
somehow swept the market and were an overnight sensation. But it only lasted for a few months. And of course, so I went to the store, and of course I bought one. And then I went to this other store, a health and beauty aid store, to do some like personal shopping, whatever. And I'm walking down the aisle, and another girl comes towards me, and she's wearing the same hat. And I look behind me, and two other girls come down, and they're wearing the same hats. And all of us like look at each other, and we all start laughing. 5 girls all together, all wearing these British sailor hats that were the phase at the time.
I think I remember you telling me this story. I don't know why, but I think I remember you telling me this.
I mean, they were cute. They
I'm gonna look
had
them
like
up.
these ribbons. Yeah, they were cute. But I went to Shul that week, and I didn't think they were for Shul. I wasn't Shul that week, and this friend of mine and her mother came into Shul wearing these hats. And I whispered to her, take that thing off. I mean, because to me, this was like just something cute for this, for the street, for teenage girls or whatever. And here they came to Shul wearing them. Like, gosh, no.
I mean, I'm looking at them.
Especially her middle-aged mother wearing this like kid's hat for Shul.
I think I see it now. It actually looks nice and fancy. I think it's Shul attire. I would call it Shul attire. Unless it's, wait a second, it's a sailor hat, like
your British sailor hat, I think.
It
was navy blue. It was navy blue with this ribbon around the brim.
Are those the ones that look like? Because I'm looking at 2 different ones. One looks like it's nice. It's like white on top, and then it has a blue strip on the bottom.
No, that's not it. I know what you're talking about. That's not it.
Yours had a brim on it. Did it have a brim on it?
I can say the part that you wore on your head was straight, and then it had a slight brim, but it was like kind of circular, but it was all navy blue.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, that's more of like a Fiddler on the Roof hat. No,
I think so.
It was that's like Fiddler on the Roof. I mean, I've seen some men wear it in Shul, and I guess if you're like trying to be stylish, maybe.
Oh no, it's something. It's got to be something that you're talking about. What we used to call a proletariat cap.
Oh, what?
We used to, and when I was in college, we called it a proletariat cap. It was the type of caps that they wore during the Russian Revolution.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that now. Yeah. It's a bunch of commie hats.
Yeah. Or the kind that they used to wear under in China with Mao during the Maoist days. Yeah.
Oh, good times. Good times. Yeah.
I don't know how good, man. Not a confusion.
What are you talking about? It was fantastic. Everyone was, equal and had, equal pay, and everyone had, no one was starving or begging on the streets. It was totally fine. I don't see what the whole big deal is.
I wouldn't say that exactly. When I would go to downtown Baltimore, believe me, it was really sad. You found a lot of people begging on the streets in downtown Baltimore.
I was talking about communist Russia.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Right. Yes, of course. Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Right.
Hey, so new. So what else? So what else is new? How's the weather in Baltimore?
It's nice, actually. The weather's really nice here. It's 41 degrees, but we're supposed to get a huge snowstorm next week, though.
Yeah, I was listening on the news. It's coming through the Midwest and expected to hit the Northeast on Monday.
Yeah. By the way, this is our 71st episode.
Wow.
We've gone that far.
Yeah, but 71 episodes, enough time to make a good fool of myself.
You're fine. No one listens. Or they do listen and they care. They listen and they care and they love to hear about you.
Yes. So what has married life taught you since you got married in October?
Head down, shut up. No, it's a joke.
It's like my mother used to say this to me. I'll keep a smile on your face and your big mouth shut. And so whenever friends of mine tell me, whenever like your brother or people tell me about what they're learning, as far as Torah goes, I say to him, you want to learn something, learn how to keep your mouth shut.
No, that's very important. That's why, like, for me, sometimes I was thinking, like, earlier this week, like, I said some stuff. I'm like, oh, I was such an idiot. Why did I say that? Like, I wish I didn't say anything at all. But it is what it is.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's part of life. You live and learn.
Do you know something? It's not that, it's not that you said the wrong thing or did something that wasn't quite socially correct for the time, for the incident that you're involved in. It's, if you look back and you say, hey, there was a better way to say that, there was a better way to do that, I should have had more feeling for this person, then that's when you should feel good, because it shows that you're growing, you're understanding. It's if you look back at this behavior and say, yeah, man, that was cool, then you should worry.
Yeah. I've been on a kick lately of listening to Pink Floyd, because it reminds me of when I was in Israel. When I was in Israel, I used to play Pink Floyd all the time. Do you know Pink Floyd?
I probably heard it and didn't realize it was Pink Floyd. Yeah, I'm more into classical stuff.
Well, they do it's symphonic psychedelic rock. So
it's so funny how everybody says that they don't like classical music, but look how many major groups became famous because they employed elements of classical music.
Yeah, but look also the fact that you have the Beatles and they are still kicking. The music is still there. It's that like 2-3 minute songs that really get you. I think it's a short attention span. That's the point. You're listening to a composer who has a whole set and it's like 2 hours long.
To tell you the truth, I don't know how these geniuses, how Beethoven and all of them could have composed music for an hour and a half. God,
they had no television. Yeah. Okay, so we are finishing up with our time. Thank you so much, Ema. Thank you so much, listeners, finishing with another wonderful episode of How I Met Your Mother. I mean, what was it? Oh, Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. That's what it was.
Well, actually, you see it on television. They have a new series coming out called How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, I want to check it out. Actually, I'm excited. It's to be cool. I think it's coming out next week. I think next Wednesday or next Thursday, the 18th.
It's about time men got equal rights.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Women are getting all the pay. It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, sweetheart, love you. All
right, I love you too.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Jewish Boy Calls His Mother episode. Please like and subscribe our Facebook group at Jewish Boy Calls His Mother Podcast, and check out our YouTube channel, Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. I know you'd like it, and my mother would appreciate it too.